Okay, so it's me, right?
Yep, it's you, Gabby.
Cheung, phone, ha.
My mother called out my full name with deliberate intensity. She appeared out of her bedroom. Her eyes looked red and swollen if she had not slept the entire night prior. Mother,
Where have you been all night? Who are you with? Why didn't you call me?
I'm sorry. I didn't get a chance to call you. I met up with my friend, but one thing led to another.
And then what?
And I ended up making an overnight trip to Saikung.
An overnight trip?
It'll be the last time for me to see her, so she wanted to have a party before she left. I lied again. I don't know why it had to be like this when it came to anything related to Sam.
Huh? What does this have to do with you?
Well, she was moving to America.
If she was leaving for America, why did you have to be gone overnight?
It was a going away party. It went on very late. Anyway, I'm sorry for not telling you. Please don't be too upset.
I'm not trying to be upset. I'm just worried about you.
I know.
You're still young. You should be careful.
Careful?
For your reputation. I was married to your father and had you when I was your age. You won't get men of quality if you go looking for in the wrong places. And you certainly won't find respect either.
Huh?
I'm not going to say anything more about whatever you did last night. I just want you to know that I'm disappointed in you.
Mother,
I'm leaving to meet your aunt. I already missed the church and now I might be late to the opera because I was beside myself with endless worrying waiting for you. How was I going to sleep soundly knowing you were out somewhere all night?
I'm really sorry.
You look dirty. You should get yourself cleaned up.
I lied again to my mother. There was no way I could tell her the truth about what happened. She could never accept it. My mother always had a sharp tongue. She wields it like a blade with such pinpoint precision. Honestly, I'm terrified whenever she turns her judgment on me. Sam, you wouldn't be able to understand why it wouldn't work out between us. I'm not the kind of girl you think I am. The stars look close when you look at them with the naked eye. In reality, they're light years apart, an incomprehensible distance for any mortal being. The distance between me and Sam is too great. I cannot fathom how it will ever work out between us. And with the lives that we have as is, the distance between us will only become greater over time. I can't. Just can't. I can't let myself be lost in something so senseless, so meaningless. It was one night's indiscretion. Anything more. I worked so hard to build up the life that I have now. I couldn't let it be changed by something that was never supposed to happen anyway. I needed to prepare myself for tomorrow's workday. I had resolved to end my contact with Sam from the beginning. But somehow, despite my best intentions, things had gone completely against what I had originally sought out to do. I couldn't change what had already happened. It was a momentary lapse in judgment that I have to accept. All I could do at this point was to move on with my life. I would start by taking a hot shower. After a long day of keeping myself busy, I threw myself onto my bed and shut my eyes tight. There was nothing else left to do other than to surrender my thoughts to the void. Try as I might, I couldn't fall asleep. My thoughts persisted to cycle back and forth between memory and regret. I wanted to turn my mind off. I didn't want to think about anything anymore. There was already enough on my mind to think about. To think about Sam, I couldn't. It pained me too much just to think about it. I wished for the long night to come to me soon.
That was interesting. Hey, when are you going to go back to your work?
I can't hear Lenny. Is that just me or?
Wait,
No, I
Can't
can't
either.
hear him either.
you can't
Mm-mm.
hear me? Shit.
Anyone remembers who won 1986 World Cup?
Testing.
Dad, the World Cup comes only once every 4 years.
I'm not lighting up. What the hell? Testing. Come on. Light up. Testing. 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 Alright, awesome. I'm lighting up. Sam? What the hell? Now I can't hear you guys. Oh, okay. Give me a moment.
Okay, so it was just Lenny that couldn't hear
Okay,
me.
now I
All
can
right,
hear you.
all
Fine,
right.
sorry.
Is
Cloud
the
and Alfie
recording
setup.
able to
Name
hear us?
and more. Name a more iconic too.
And you're my only father in this world. Can't I spend some time with you?
Huh? What are you saying? I'm worried about your future. You think your tapes can keep selling forever? I keep telling you to sell more Cantonese opera recordings.
I do have them, but I want to focus more on a specific film, though.
You're in a tourist area. How about getting those dubbed versions of Bruce Lee movies? Your brother's doing well for himself teaching Kung Fu in San Francisco. He's got Americans calling him master. Isn't that great?
Yes, that's great.
I don't get why you keep on all these. I don't get why you keep all those old foreign movies. People in Hong Kong want to see action films, or something sexy, or something with a bit of both. Be smarter and more serious about your business.
I am serious. I'm trying to curate something different. It's not like I'm doing poorly. I'm making money, more than you would think.
Alright. But don't you think this evening hour is important for business? Why don't you consider hiring someone to help them?
Why don't you have your shop open?
Well, I'm watching a football game right now.
Huh? Aren't you as bad as me now?
It's not like I closed up my shop completely. If someone wants my services, you just need to give me a shout.
Excuse me!
Huh? What was that?
Someone's knocking. You have a customer.
Oh.
Is anyone there?
Since you're here, can you get the gates open up for me?
Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Oops.
I would not have expected that.
No, me neither.
Sam?
When I first met Michelle, I was charmed at first glance. I like women with sharp eyes. When they look at you with that piercing gaze, I get goosebumps. Anyway, that's probably why, when I saw Michelle looking back at me with those eyes, and seeing her dressed to the nines in a pressed blazer suit, and her feet adorned haphazardly with a pair of pink sandals, I have to say it left quite an impression in my mind. I couldn't help myself to tease her a little. It's in my nature. I can't change this part about myself.
Excuse me.
Oh, a customer? Wait just a moment. Is she a regular customer?
That's none of your business. I got work to do. It's about time we get going.
Am I that in your way?
Please go.
I'm getting hungry anyway. If you're chasing me away, I'll get dinner.
I'm not chasing you away. Hey, you free right now? Help me pick up some takeout food.
What do you want?
Anything is fine.
Western style or Chinese? Maybe pissing shrimp?
Nah, Western. Give me a chef salad.
Okay, one chef salad. Anything else?
Oh. Since you're coming back, can you pick up some crickets?
Huh? For your prized Oscar fish?
Yes. He's starving for live food.
Why can't you just throw in some cockroaches off the street instead? They're free.
That's disgusting. My poor fish.
Don't they eat bugs?
Crazy. Cockroaches will kill it. I'm not feeding something so dirty to my fish.
If it's that troublesome, just feed it flake food.
What? You just don't understand. My fish is a primal animal. A predator needs to hunt to satisfy its instinct to live.
All right. I'll get it. Anything else you want me to pick up?
Oh, give me a can of Coke on your way back.
All right. I don't always go to see my dad. From time to time, we might meet From time to time, we might meet to have dinner. Otherwise, we don't see each other much. My dad never really knew how to be a dad. When I was a teenager, I got the idea that he didn't want to be the moral compass in my life anymore. So, I moved out. I learned that so long as my dad didn't know about my business, he had no complaints. Age and time might have softened him, but his heart is still old and conservative. If we were ever together too long, we were bound to argue. It was better for both of us to continue living apart. We could live our own lives separately, without much intrusion. He had enough to worry about already. He does not need a daughter like me burdening him. Today, I just got a feeling my dad might have been lonely. Summertime brings about a certain melancholy in my household. I went to a nearby pet store. It was on the way to the restaurant that I quite liked. What I needed to pick up here for my dad was some fish food. I asked the store attendant for a bag of crickets. I also grabbed a container of fish pellets for good measure. That should make my dad happy. I knew he loved watching his fish feed. Curiously, I spotted the same office lady from earlier. She was looking at the goldfish. She appeared lost in thought in front of the tank. I wondered what she was thinking about. I would say I'm a careful person. A very cautious person, even. I know the cues of social conduct. I certainly wouldn't stick my nose in a stranger's business without good reason. Yet, there was something drawing me to keep looking her way. Something about the way she gazed at the goldfish in the aquarium had made me feel oddly nostalgic. There was a time in the past when my dad would have brought me to the same pet store. I wasn't even tall enough to look into the fish tanks then. He would have lifted me up onto his shoulders to let me look at all the fancy goldfish. I would look at them with innocent wonder and awe. That was a long time ago. Was she reminiscing a similar memory, I wondered? I know. It wasn't my place to ask. It just felt like the world was a little smaller that night. Michelle Fong Ha Cheung. I regretted that I didn't leave Michelle my number. It was on the tip of my tongue when I was sending her off the other night. Why didn't I push to say it? I was playing it too cool, I thought. I was never shy about this kind of stuff, but I really should have given her my contact at that moment. Oh well. I was moping all day about it in the store. It was a typical day for me. Business as usual. I would open the store at noon. The first few hours were usually quite slow. It's usually not until late afternoon when people would start to stream in after their school or work. Things would then pick up and it would stay pretty steady until I closed the store for the night. It was mid-afternoon when I got a familiar visitor. It was Cecilia. She stops in at my store from time to time to chit-chat. Sometimes it was just to catch up, and sometimes it was to solicit me to spend money at her bar. It usually was a bit of both. She rarely had interest in movies. Cecilia owns a bar that's quite popular for girls in the know. I hadn't visited her bar recently. There's no particular reason why I haven't gone. I haven't been feeling up to it. I probably made Cecilia feel worried. Cecilia's like a sister and mentor figure to me. She had been with me through love-struck pining and love-lorn heartbreak. She had seen me at my best, and she had seen me at my worst. Cecilia was probably the only person that I trust enough to talk to her about my personal issues. When things weren't good with my dad those odd years ago, she helped me find work and a place to stay. I used to be so headstrong, especially when it came to anything about what my dad had to say. If I hadn't met her, I'm not sure where I would have ended up.
Oh, Samantha! Don't forget to come by tonight. I have performers. I need a big crowd to keep the energy.
Of course, I won't forget. I wouldn't have dressed up otherwise.
You better come. Haven't seen you come by at all these days. Did something happen to you?
Not really. I've been busy with the video store. And I haven't really been feeling it.
Is that really so? Not feeling it? Coming from you? Don't tell me the diamond's losing its shine.
I don't know. I guess I'm getting older.
You're joking. You're so young. I have white-haired ladies that still turn up by from time to time. Tell me, is there someone there you're trying to avoid?
No.
Then why have you been sighing all this time? There must be something on your mind.
Really? Have I sighed that much?
You have. Is it Mabel? You know, she doesn't work at Ruby anymore.
No. There's nothing like that between us anymore.
Then what is it?
I met this woman.
Oh, and?
That's it.
That's it? Usually you to be this special. What is she like? Do I know her?
Her name is Michelle. I don't think you know her. She's an office lady. I met her the other day when she was getting her shoes fixed at my dad's store. I didn't really get her contact or anything. But I think we had hit it off pretty well.
Huh? When did you like vanilla flavor?
What? Don't say that about Michelle.
Are you delusional? What happened to you?
What is it?
Let me tell you was your sworn sister. Don't get your hopes up. And oh, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with you. Fun and game? Maybe, but don't think it will be anything more. In fact, someone with an appearance like that is more dangerous than you think.
Just because you've had bad experiences doesn't make it universal.
I'm teaching you a lesson.
All right, let's see about it then. I think it's something.
Something in your head. Well, I believe it when I see it.
Hey,
You're sure confident.
it's not like that. I feel we connect. When we talk, I get a good feeling. I know we just met. It's hard for me to explain it. The feeling I have is like one of those stick-on pads for back pain. It starts off icy cold, then gets really hot. You know, the ones you buy in the big bright drugstores? I think it's like that.
Uh-huh. If you need medicine, you should try the Chinese herbs that I recommend instead. More trustworthy. I don't get why you like this type.
I don't know. She seems to me like a straightforward person, but I feel she has something quite interesting underneath the exterior. I want to get to know the person underneath. And I feel she's interested in me like that too.
Is that so? I'm surprised. I have never seen you like this before. Don't cry to me when you get heartbroken.
I'll try not to.
Well, if you do end up heartbroken, I really don't mind if you come to me. One of these days, you have to take me up on a trip to Brazil.
Oh, wow.
Oh god. That's extremely specific.
Brazil?
Yes, my home country.
That's too expensive for me.
No, it isn't. Our money is toy money. I never asked you to spend your money. Just hold my bags and take some photos for me, alright?
Cecilia?
Well, I'd love to chat more, but I better get going. I'll see you tonight. Okay, just
Alright.
a little quick information. I think by this time, Brazil was kinda like Venezuela in case of currency, so coming here would have been extremely cheap.
Oh,
You better
interesting.
come or else.
Sure. Bye-bye, big sis. I know Cecilia was only looking out for me. It was a long shot for me to meet Michelle again. It was a big, big world, and I got nothing else that connected me to Michelle. But somehow, by the luck of gods, Michelle really did come by to see me. I hope this little miracle didn't use up whatever luck I had entirely. Cecilia would be surprised, I bet. I couldn't wait to let her know. She's my closest friend. I wonder what she'll think. I haven't felt so anxiously worked up about something in such a long while. Always dancing on the fine line of subtlety between intent and indecision. Such is the reality of living between the margins of good and poor society. I knew in my gut I could not and should not push more than this. But was I in the wrong? Was I overthinking? Was it all a personal delusion? I know I haven't made my intentions clear, and neither did Michelle. There was an etiquette to follow in everything. If only I had been a man, it would have been all too evident. Some people prefer things like lukewarm water, but I couldn't stand it. Give me something ice cold or scalding hot. Indigestion be damned. I suppose, though, if I were a man, someone like Michelle would have never gone along with me. What do you do? My mother in heaven, I'm sorry. You're watching over an errant daughter. Please, if you're hearing my prayers, please give me the strength and courage to live out the best and most righteous life. I watched Michelle dial a number from my phone. I was cool. I was composed as the ocean. Michelle would call for a ride home, and I would return to the sea. But it wasn't as if fish were without desire. It happened organically. Our first kiss. I admit the ambience wasn't quite romantic. The lighting did not really bring out the most flattering complexion in either of us. I could hear the Fong's loud talking again. The smell of Auntie Lee's cooking next door was a temptation of its own. But it was sweet, our kiss. And it was real. Michelle, I don't know any other way to convey my feelings to you. Please, if you're going to push me away, do it now. Michelle quietly accepted the kiss. It was a tender moment we shared. When I opened my eyes, Michelle looked away from me. She pushed me aside, gathered her belongings, and left without another word. Michelle is a person within the margins of society. I was thinking that she might have felt differently about me. Though I knew from the beginning that it would be difficult for someone like her to accept such a thing. The idea of romance between two women had probably never crossed her mind before. Would she want more than this? Would she want to pursue this further? Michelle left the apartment in a rush. When I saw her leave in a taxi from my balcony window, it had hurt. It had hurt so much. I didn't know if I would see her again. I wish sometimes that it wasn't like this. Mother in heaven, I've become a wayward daughter. I was 12 years old when I had my first period. When I told my brother about it then, he said I should talk to my dad instead. When I told my dad, he said I should go to the drugstore to get medicine. When I asked the man at the drugstore counter what medicine I should get for bleeding, he told me to go to the hospital. I was scared. I really thought that I was going to die and join you in heaven, you know? I told this whole story to the nurse at the hospital reception, and she just laughed and handed me a sanitary pad. She said that I was an adult now, and that I just have to get used to monthly bleeding. I realized that I was different from my brother and father in terms of treatment and biology. And I think since then I became conscious of myself. I wanted to be the daughter that I imagined you would have wanted. I really did. But things sometimes don't go the way you want it to go. I remember when I was 13, when all my friends were talking about their crushes. I couldn't join in on the conversations. I felt I was no longer growing up along with them at the same pace. I was first among them to get my period, But I was last to feel a simple crush. How could that be? They said I was a late bloomer. But years had passed and I could never really bring myself to like another boy. It troubled me. If I couldn't find a boy that I liked, how would I be able to get married and become a good mother like yourself someday? The thought troubled me deeply. And then it happened. When I was 16, a girl in my class said she liked me. And I liked her back. Simple as that, it just felt right. Maybe I was born with this wayward spirit. I don't know why I have this inclination in me. Was I a bad person? Was I in the wrong? In the end, I decided it wasn't anything to be ashamed about. It was too much to think about. I never meant to hurt anyone. Especially not you, and not Dad. Oh, Mother in heaven. I know you're always watching me from above. Please don't think that this was your fault, or that your absence that made me become this way. I hope you can see this from above and understand, Mother. Please forgive me if I've made you sad. I'm doing my best to be a good, honest person for myself and everyone. I wasn't a good daughter to my father. But things between us aren't so bad anymore. It had been 10 years since then. Looking back, I can't believe I still did that. Leaving home the way I did. Leaving home the way that I did when I was still fresh from high school. My brother had already left for America. It was just me and my dad at home at that time. I had gotten into a big argument with my dad. He did not agree with my after-school activities or the relationships I chose to pursue. It wasn't normal for a girl my age to leave home. But it felt as if I had no other choice then. I couldn't bear it to be shamed and berated my own flesh and blood day after day. So rather than bending to my father's will, I left home. I'd be like my brother and live my own life. I had a hard time making it out of there on my own at first. I spent many sleepless nights wandering the city. I hadn't quite finished high school, so I had a hard time finding a job that could afford much of anything. I was running out of money fast. All I took with me was a bag of clothes and whatever cash I could find in the house. Odd jobs here and there weren't enough to cover my living expenses. I rotated places where I could spend the night. I stayed with friends sometimes, other times I slept in hostels and cheap hotels. I definitely did not consider going back to my dad as an option then. It was pure luck that I met Cecilia. At that time, she was the manager of a bar that I stumbled upon. Something about her particular bar made me feel like it wasn't a bad place to be. So I walked up to her and asked for a job. Of course, I was rejected. But I had a strong feeling about her. Something told me that Cecilia was someone who would change the direction of my life. I came back every night to see her. And you could say the rest was history. Good evening, gorgeous.
You again? I have a name, you know.
Beautiful?
The nerve of you. You know, it's Miss Cecilia Cortez.
Yes, miss.
So, what is it?
I just want to talk to you.
Talk again? How many times do I have to tell you? There's no position here for you.
It's not about that. I want to get to know you.
Young girl, you're out of your league.
I am.
Look at yourself. Showing up here in a girls' school uniform? You're giving your school a bad reputation. What are you trying to pull coming here dressed like that? You think this is a daycare?
Well, I am looking for extracurricular learning.
Can you at least change out before coming here? People will think I'm intentionally letting in an underage kid.
I don't have any other clothes right now.
Ah. Alright. I'll hear you out. I'm not in here. I don't want anyone to think we're up to some funny business.
I'm 18, you know.
What? You look like you're 13. Show me your identity card.
I forgot it.
Hey, that's illegal, you know. What's so funny?
I'm happy to finally sit down with you. It's like I'm dining with an angel.
An angel?
You look like a Charlie's angel. Your hairstyle is just like Farrah Fawcett's. It's like the real Farrah is in front of me.
Oh? So you recognize my beauty, huh?
Yes, you could be a movie star.
You're so cheeky. Don't think you get far with flattery alone.
Yes, miss.
So sure you have an attitude. So, where do you live?
I'm staying with a friend right now.
How much money do you have?
I have some money. Order what you want. This meal is on me.
Stupid.
Who are you calling stupid?
Baby-faced girl like you will get kidnapped on the street. If you're going to be independent, you need to be smart about it.
That's why I came to see you.
What? You can get work anywhere. Don't keep bothering me and my establishment.
It has to be with you.
Say that again.
I get a good feeling with you. The lights, the music, all the people. It's comforting to me. I feel really good to be there. That's all. I want to learn from you and learn how to create such a place for myself.
You're strange.
I guess.
Are you still in school?
No, I finished.
I see. Can you speak English?
I can.
Say something.
Hello, how are you? Are you visiting? I was in a British accent. Hello, how are you? Are you visiting Hong Kong? No, sir, you cannot have a photo with me.
Huh? Good enough, I suppose. How about your math?
I'm an A-grade student.
What's 14 times 20, 12 minus 18?
150.
That's elementary. Anyone would know that.
You know, I was top of my class for math. A lot of people asked me to be their tutor.
Okay.
Hmm?
I have a cousin who needs some help at record store. I assume I can pick up some shifts, right?
Yes.
Good. I'll put in a good word for you.
Thank you.
Hmm? That all the gratitude you have for me?
As I work for you.
That again? Come back to me with a few more years under your belt.
Eh,
What can you do at a bar?
I can be the bartender.
You can drink?
I can.
What do you even know about bartending?
I can make you a drink.
Oh? What will we make?
I'll make something suitable for an adult like you. Between the sheets.
What a precocious little girl you are. You're still a diamond in the hole. Learn a thing or two from the real world first.
Diamond in the rough? Don't look down on me because I'm so much younger than you. Maybe I'll take over your bar someday.
Eh, such an attitude. No, I'm not that much older than you.
How old are you then?
I don't need to tell you. Okay, baby girl. Your milk tea is here.
Thank you. I promised Cecilia that I would work hard to repay her. I started working at the record store that she introduced to me. It took several years to save up enough money before I could open my own video store. The original record store had eventually closed down, and Cecilia acquired the lease on the space for a good price. Home video was taking off. I thought it'd be my opportunity to make it big. When they first heard about it, my dad and brother had their doubts about the video store. It wasn't just about money. I had my own reasons why I wanted to run a video store. It was really hard. Even with Cecilia's help in the beginning, it was difficult to turn a profit. Business was booming for so many people in the new decade. But for me, it seemed like I was going to be left behind in the dust. A few years later, Cecilia had turned the old funk bar into a shiny new disco.